top, and the west side washed out. So the miners are back, are all scrambling all the time. But he could get through a quarter. Picture of the creek. Picture of the creek. It's way up the bank. The road, of course, follows the river down the canyon. Every bend, from the outside, it's not where it used to be. I don't know, I really don't. I knew they had some rain out there, Cow Valley.
So when you sit next to Kevin, does his wisdom just kind of migrate over to you?
She came back.
Folks, it is top of the hour now. If you would rise and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, welcome, everyone. back from the summer break. Good to see all your smiling faces, and I do not see too many weapons out there to be thrown at us, so that's a good sign. So let's go ahead and get started. We have a lot we would like to try to get in this morning. So welcome to the Exchange. My name is Tom Foster, and I'm the president of the 2025 Board of Directors. And this meeting is audio and video recorded, and for the first time live streamed as well by the RCSC management and staff. Please be advised there is to be no recording of this meeting by any individual, and take out your cell phones or electronic devices and check to make sure they're in a silent mode. Just a reminder, verbal or physical aggression towards any member, guest, or RCSC staff is not acceptable, and offenders may be asked to leave the meeting. Now let me introduce the Board of Directors and our timekeeper and the management personnel. So Director Collins is absent today. Director Rick Gray.
Present.
Director John Brissett.
Good morning.
Secretary Preston Keiss.
Good morning.
Vice President Chris Nedesine.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back.
Treasurer Anita Borski.
Welcome back, everyone.
Director Jana Mapes.
Good morning.
Director Jim Ruff.
Good morning, especially to you, Connie.
Yeah, welcome back, Connie. It's good to see you. All right, timekeeper will be Director Keiss, here to my right. On the management team, Director of Finance, Kevin McCurdy. Director of Facilities, Mike Whiprud. Director of Operations, Mike Diermeyer.
Good morning.
Director Golf, Eddie Renio.
Morning.
And our board coordinator is Marcia Johnson. Also want to recognize Alan Kleinhans, Carly Young, and Miguel Jackson, who serve as our audiovisual engineers. All right, so we've got a few announcements to get through here before we get going. We're still using the 3-minute policy, so please make sure you've got a number from the dispenser in the back of the room to reserve your place in line. And questions that might be coming from live stream, I guess we'll handle those as they come, maybe alternately, but let's see if there's anything there before we worry too much about that at the moment. Mr. Diermeyer will be handling those for us. General manager search. As you know, the board has retained Robert Haft and Associates, a executive search firm, to assist in the search for a new general manager. That process has been proceeding over the last few weeks. The board has conducted 3 interviews so far and has 4 more scheduled for this week, maybe 5 for this week. So we are working through that list. We had something in the neighborhood of 60+ individuals that expressed some interest. Master plan, the working group on the master plan did interview the 4 finalists on that process last week. There are some issues that still need to be resolved before we can proceed much further there, but we will expeditiously get on that so that we can make some progress there. 2026 budget. Finance, Budget, and Audit Committee has met several times already regarding the proposed budget. A key input will be decisions by the Golf Advisory Committee and Mr. Renio down at the end of the table here. That committee meets Thursday, September 11, I believe. Is that right?
Yes, at 1 o'clock, we're going to be in the Sonora Room at the Grand Center so that we have connectivity with the outside world.
Okay, thank you. So if you're interested in how the golf input will be affecting the budget for 2026, you're welcome to attend. Bylaws Working Group. big round of applause for those folks who have worked so diligently over the summer, and they have completed their proposed revisions and then sent those off to legal counsel for review. So they have just done an outstanding job, and I appreciate very much all of the work and effort and dedication that those folks have shown. Thank you very much. Board policies. There are a number of board policies that are being looked at. We have assigned those to different members of the board of directors. Those will follow the bylaw presentations and work so that those won't be probably out for the membership to see until November, I believe, was when we were, so around November 1st, those proposed board policies would be available for the members to take a look at. Let's see, not to steal any of Vice President Nettesine's thunder here, but as kind of a light announcement, we were planning on a website presentation after everyone is done with their comments today. So if you can hang around for that, you'll get to see what our new website is going to look like. And I believe we're going live the 16th? We're trying, okay. Little hesitation there.
That's the date we're shooting for. As with anything, as you come up to the end, that's our goal date. There could be something unexpected that happens that might push it a day or two, but that's our goal date.
My understanding is a lot of the troubleshooting has been completed and it's passing all those tests. So we're very, very close. All right, board election packets, that is also getting very, very close. So those are certainly available. See Ms. Johnson down there in the corporate office if you have any interest in collecting one of those packets to run for the board of directors this fall. And then I think lastly is Director Nettesine has her Mountain View update, and I think you will find we're making some significant progress there. And go ahead, Chris, and do your presentation.
Okay, so here we go again. Whoops, I forgot the clicker. Senior moment. Okay, so first of all, I owe you guys an apology. I said I would have something out there in August. August got really super busy, and I had a 5th birthday for my grandson in Texas, and I did not get it out there. So I do apologize to you for that, but I did have the July one out. This covers what I would have, there was very little to cover in August, but this covers where we're at today. So this slide you guys have all seen. It's what's completed. You've been seeing it for multiple months now. Nothing has actually been added to this first slide. The second slide, however, Tri-Arc programming phase is now completed. We have, Tri-Arc met with multiple stakeholders. They met with people that lived around Mountain View. They lived with people that didn't live around Mountain View. They lived with people, they lived these interviews with people, and they met with them about accessibility, about what the facilities should be. Just simple things like, let's talk about what the bathrooms should be like for an aging community. Let's talk about what the curbs should be like. So a lot of accessibility conversations to make sure we're accessible. Our September town hall is scheduled for the 16th. As you guys saw when you came in, I had a slide up there that was telling you when. It's a special session. It will be live streamed. There will be moderation. So you will be able to ask questions if you are not here in the room. So for those of us, it was a balance. We wanted to keep moving forward and keep Mountain View, having momentum. But we also needed to find a way to allow the people that are not back yet to participate. So that's what we're doing. Sandy, great. and it's like, so we're making sure that everything is as accessible as possible from a technology perspective. For those of you that have never live streamed before, you use the chat. And in the chat, you put your questions, and then a moderator moderates the question. They may combine multiple questions if they have a similar theme, or there's a trend with the questions, so they may combine them. So your individual question may not be asked, but the focus of your question will be asked. And then the board and or Triarch would answer them for you. So if you're watching live stream today, hello and welcome, and feel free to use the chat to get used to it. Sorry? So when you go to YouTube, you start the live stream. So when you get to our channel on YouTube, it'll say live stream. You just click on it. There's a comment section, chat section. You just click on that and it'll come up and you'll see it streaming with everybody's comments. To get to the channel? We are on YouTube under Sun City, correct? If you search Sun City, you will see us. You will see there. Did we keep the live stream that we tested on there so people could see it? No, we didn't. Okay. So look for this one today. Go to Sun City, and it'll show you the live stream, because one of the pluses of the live stream is we can post it faster. See, there's me. This is us live streaming right now. And the chat is on the side, and you just type your question in. The only thing to remember, guys, name and member number. So make sure you put your name and member number in the chat, because we need to know that it's a member asking the question. So name and member number. You're welcome. Okay, so where are we at? We have the town hall scheduled 5:30 to 9. We wanted to make sure we had plenty of time for people to ask their questions, both live stream and in person. It is a special session, which means there's a presentation and then the members have the opportunity to do Q&A. Triarch will be doing the presentation, and then the Q&A follows immediately, like the one we did earlier this year. And then we're live streaming and there's moderators. So in progress for us today, we need to review the Triarch programming data and findings, review the member comments from the presentation in the town hall, and we need to determine the amenities at Mountain View based on that information. So what I did do was, in June, I sent raw usage data to Triarch, and Triarch has used all of 2024 data and through May of this year to help determine usage of the different amenities at Mountain View. And they've compared it to how the amenities are used at other centers. So they used that raw data. It was sent as raw data because I did not want to, I do a lot of analysis of data pretty much every week, but I did not want to try and influence or, it's better for people to take raw data and come to their own conclusions than for somebody to say, well, this is what it is, and then they're kind of stuck with it, right? So that's what we did. And then after that, after we determined what amenities should be at Mountain View based on member input, we kicked the design phase off. And President Foster, my understanding is we have plans for the board meeting with Mountain View. Is that true?
That is our tentative plan. So the board meeting in September on the 25th, my intention is to put Mountain View on that agenda. You will have seen the Triarch presentation from the 16th. The board will have seen that from the 16th. We will have seen and heard comments from that town hall on the 16th. And as a entry on the agenda, again, you would have opportunities to comment at that board meeting. But my hope is, and who knows what may happen at board meetings, sometimes things get kind of crazy, but my hope and intention is to bring that motion to a vote on that day, September 25th, so that the board puts a stake in the ground as to which of these alternatives that were put together from all the comments of members and stakeholders, which one of those alternatives is where we will go going forward with Mountain View. So that will be a big decision day, and hopefully we'll move forward, and there'll be, that would be the first reading, second reading in the next board meeting, and we'll put shovels in the ground when we get the design phase completed. And I think hopefully we will see quite a bit of information on the 16th that you will be able to make some decisions yourselves, and the board will be able to take a lot of information from not only Triarc, but from the membership as well.
Thank you. So, progress for Triarc, the deliverable is the analysis of the stakeholder interviews and update of existing data based from previous phases of Mountain View project. So this has been an aggregate, a cumulative process we've been doing. We've been collecting data, input from members, input from stakeholders, so their analysis of all of those interviews and all of the information we have is part of what their presentation will be. And there will be some base concept drawings for Mountain View at the completion of this presentation. So basically, my understanding is they're going to come, they're going to talk about how they got where they are, they're going to present X number of options for what will be at Mountain View, and then you guys will have the opportunity to speak. So that's the presentation to the members from Triarc. How are we communicating? So we're going to do another video presentation like we did last time. We're going to post it. So if you remember last time we did on YouTube, we did a presentation of the town hall presentation before. So you guys have a chance to look at it, listen to it, collect your thoughts and your questions that you might want to ask so that you're not inundated with too much information during the presentation to be able to really think about it and ask our questions. We are going to have paper copies of the presentation available at the town hall. We're printing a stack of them. And after the town hall, they'll be in the corporate office for you to pick up if you are here virtually or you weren't able to make it for some reason, you can go pick up a paper copy. At the last meeting, if you remember, we all sat here and kind of did this thing where we're all kind of squinting at the screens. This time we decided to do a paper presentation. So instead of the books going to all the different facilities like we did last time, this time we're gonna actually have the paper presentation and people can take it with them. I think that's a better idea, and it's certainly what the members voted on at the last town hall. We're gonna live stream the presentation. It'll be uploaded for your review, and it will include the Q&A. So it won't just be the presentation. So there'll be the presentation first before the town hall, and then the actual town hall will be posted on YouTube. Member engagement. We're committed to keeping the Mountain View project moving forward. I have to thank you guys. Your involvement with Triarc allowed this project to keep moving during the summer. Without your involvement, that would not have happened. We would have stalled. And I cannot thank the membership enough for participating and sharing their thoughts and their concerns and their feelings with Triarc as we move forward. One of the things I do want to share with you is the board has had no interaction with Triarc with regard to the stakeholder meetings or how the programming was going per se until they told us they were ready and we started scheduling this. This is all your information, your thoughts, your feelings, your wants, your needs that are being presented in the town hall. We purposely stayed out of the process because we wanted the members' voice to be heard loud and clear. So I just want to share that with you, that we maintained that commitment to you, and I think you'll be interested to see, I'm certainly interested to see, what our members thought. Your active involvement has enhanced the data that we had and has lent the story our story to the usage numbers. So numbers are just numbers. If you don't have the story behind it, sometimes numbers will lead you down a path you shouldn't go. Other times, the numbers are powerful and they lead you down the right path. But the active involvement of the members allowed those numbers to have some context for Triarch. And your contributions made a difference. And they've certainly, I believe, influenced the outcome as we've been moving forward. So please continue to communicate with the board. Just because we're done with programming doesn't mean this is the end of it. You guys have an idea where, we're going into design now where we're actually going to think about, is it going to be purple carpet or orange carpet? Is it going to have ceiling to floor windows? Is it going to have, are we going to put blinds up? Are we not going to put blinds up? Are we going to put reflective windows in there? All sorts of different things. What kind of fitness equipment are we talking about? All of these different things are going to start during the design phase. So please continue to share your thoughts. But we ask again that you guys continue to reach out directly to the board. By reaching out to the board, we're able to ensure that your thoughts and your concerns are raised with Triarch, but more importantly, we're aware of them as well. So as we start talking and making decisions, we're aware of what you want as well, and that's important. Like and follow us on Facebook and YouTube, so you're aware of and informed when we post new information, and we will continue to post new information. And let us know your thoughts by communicating to the Board of Directors at Sun City AZ. I will share with you, we did pull all of the individual email addresses down off of the website. The reason for that is there's a new AI exploit out there that has a way of getting into your emails, your Outlook. So we pulled our email addresses because we were starting to see an influx of those type of emails that were scam, spam, phishing, nastygram type emails. So that's why we're asking you to use Board of Directors. Okay, what comes next? The programming presentation to the membership. The board communicates to the membership as the final decisions regarding the Mountain View buildings and amenities are made, and we move into the design phase. They'll be made, those decisions will be made based on feedback during visioning, programming, and usage data. So everything you've had input to is going to influence how we make our decisions. And then the renovation design phase begins, and we'll continue to provide you with all of the information that we have been providing you with, keeping you current of where we're at, so that you're aware every step of the way. And I'm still waiting, fingers crossed, sometime next year for us to all show up with shovels and start digging up Mountain View.
And sledgehammers?
And right. So there are people that actually want to take counters and stuff down. That's why they're asking for sledgehammers. They want to go in there and take some of those counters and stuff down. But basically, we're looking, it's getting closer. It's really closer. We're talking about next year now. It's not 2 years down the road. We're talking about potentially next year being able to start this project from a build phase. Oops. Thank you. We continue to look forward to your input. You guys are amazing. I cannot tell you how important your communication and interaction with Triarch and us were. So thank you guys very, very much.
Hello. Chris, we had talked a little bit about the magic words called Anne Randall Stewart.
We had. So, how many of you know about Anne Randall Stewart? Okay. How many of you are aware of the impact that Anne Randall Stewart had on the Mountain View project? Okay. So I did not know this. Thank you, Ed, for sharing this with me in a conversation. But the Anne Randall Stewart, one of the biggest parts of the Anne Randall Stewart lawsuit was they were suing to get all the PIF monies back. So when you go in and you look at that, and you can go online and find the case and the judge's ruling, but basically they were suing to get all the PIF money back. That meant we couldn't spend any PIF monies until that court case was resolved, which is why Mountain View has been delayed for so long. Anne Randall Stewart had to be settled in court, and then we could move forward with Mountain View. And I believe Anne Randall Stewart was 2019, the final ruling? Couldn't tell you, okay. I believe it was somewhere around 2019. So think about that. I've heard people say Mountain View's been 20 years in the making. It has. I went back and looked. But a huge chunk of those years were delayed because of the Anne Randall Stewart lawsuit. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because I didn't know that. And I'm on the board and I didn't know that. So, you know, it's one of those things where if you're not aware of things that can interject itself into a process, it sometimes feels like we're spinning our wheels and we're not going in the right direction. But in this specific instance, as soon as that court case was resolved, the board did pick Mountain View back up and started working. So, because now we had the PIF funds. Because if RCSC had to return all those PIF monies to the members, there would have been no money to build anything at all. Maintain, yes, but build, no. So, thank you guys.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Hope you picked up one of the spreadsheets from the back table there that relate to issues that were brought up way back before the summer break at the last exchange meeting, and we just have a few comments on, at least on the ones that we haven't addressed until at least prior to that. So let's go through those real quick, and then we can get to your member comments for today. Why does it take 2 weeks to aerate the greens and fairways? Well, actually, we were taking extra time this year, not only to do the aerification, which is where you literally punch holes in the ground for the root system to get oxygen and water, so that it promotes the growth of the grass. But the idea there to take some extra time was to do, not only to give that golf course or whatever it was that was being aerified, extra time to heal, but we did considerable other maintenance projects with keeping the course closed for that extra couple weeks. So the idea was not to keep or slow down play, but to make play better when you did reopen the facility, because the aerification would have had a longer time to heal. So that was the reason for that. Triarch going to be the contractor to do the work at Mountain View. Okay, some confusion there perhaps, but with terminology. Triarch is the firm that will do the design work. So when everything that Vice President Nettesign just was explaining to you is leading up to a selection of some sort of decision as to what we want to have at Mountain View, and then Triarch will design that. That design will subsequently go out for bid, and whoever brings in the best, most competitive bid or satisfactory bid would be largely probably be the general contractor and the builder of the facility at that. So that's the second phase. So Triarch is design. Contracting and building probably could be someone else. Tennis courts cracks are back after just being repaired. That's unfortunate, but we knew they were patched to try and get them through this intermediate period while we make the design and contracting decisions to, as Chris has so eloquently said, get shovels in the ground. So at some point in the relatively near future, those may be torn up and rebuilt if that's part of the decision is to keep tenants there. So I think it would be more appropriate not to put any more money on those tennis courts until we make those decisions, which are coming very, very soon. CPI, how did we do last year using CPI? Well, CPI has been a consumer price index, by the way, and there are about a dozen different variations on that. Having come from an economic background, I could do longer than she just did on Mountain View, but you do not want to hear me give you a speech on CPI. My students back at university, no doubt, suffered traumatic and are probably in some sort of counseling still, trying to recover from those lectures. But so CPI is Consumer Price Index, but it's consumer, so it has things like, you know, milk and bread and peanut butter, and I'm pretty darn sure when I look at the budget for the rec centers, there's no milk or bread or peanut butter in there. But it's still a benchmark that is widely recognized and available and something that we kind of benchmark against. So will we come in right at, with this budget, right at CPI increases or below that or slightly above it? I don't know yet. Those numbers are still moving, but we just use that as a relative benchmark. Why can't we use sod from quail to fill in places at other courses? Well, the fact of the matter is we do, and we did. We actually put quite a bit of that sod on Lakes East, the executive course, versus Lakes West, the more championship course. So quite a bit of that, or a fair amount of that sod was moved over there to help with some areas at Lakes East. There is something that came up as we were looking into that. We can't really set aside acres for a sod farm without running afoul of some Arizona agricultural restrictions that we're not allowed to do that without having certain permits. So while we might be able to have, you know, a small plot where we grow grass to replace or patch a green somewhere on a golf course, we can't really just grow sod in a wholesale manner. That we simply are not licensed to do that. Someone who lives by Mountain View wants to give input. How do they do that? Well, one, email the board. In particular, email Chris. That'd be most helpful for me. But a lot of that time is passing. If you still have something you want to do, you need to get that in pretty quickly, because they're going to be making those consolidating all of that stakeholder input when they come here on the 16th. Not that that still couldn't be some time for additional input, but we're very close now to getting to the point where we're going to start making decisions. So if you've got some input that you wish to make there, now's the time. Okay, I think that covers all of the ones that have not been addressed in the past. So let's not worry about that one today. Okay, let's move on to your comments then. And so still the 3 minutes. Mr. Dearmeyer will let me know if he has anything from the live streaming and which number is first here.
I hope it's 59 because that's what's up there.
Morning, everybody. Connie Jo Rickmeyer, 150551. I have 3 questions for President Foster. I would like to ask them, then have you provide responses after I finish my questions. President Foster, why is it that Treasurer Borski still doesn't have access to all the corporate financial documents she's requested? I know she requested these documents prior to the start of 2025. Okay, President Foster, from both observation and my personal experience, you are repeatedly visibly and verbally disrespectful to the women board members, 2 of which are officers of the board. This is something which was discussed and brought to your attention numerous times, and you have promised to do better, yet you repeatedly still do it. You need to permanently change your behavior. And finally, President Foster, since the board is made up of 9 members, why are you making numerous decisions without involving board members and discussing the issues and decisions you are considering? Thank you.
Well, thank you, Connie Jo. It's good to see you again. We haven't spoken for some point in time here. With regard to your concerns about Treasurer Borski's access, she and I have had numerous conversations, as well as with the Director of Finance. She has put a number of things in writing, and I believe at least the last time she and I talked, she felt she was getting access to at least a fair amount of the information that she had been requesting. So I think progress has certainly been made there. I'm not sure what information you're making your comments about, but I will certainly go back and touch base with Treasurer Borski to make sure that she is comfortable with the data that she is getting and the access that she has. Disrespectful to the female members of the board. I do recall your comment at a board meeting one time where you were concerned that I was not referring to them as secretary or treasurer or what their proper title was. I honestly believed I had corrected that, but perhaps you have seen instances where I have inadvertently omitted that, in which case I apologize to you. That is not my intention. I believe I have gone to quite some extreme limits, I believe, to make sure that male and female members of the board are being treated in a very respectful manner. If there's something else that some evidence you have that where I have omitted something, please bring that to my attention. And then decisions. Wow. Mr. Ruff, Director Ruff, has constantly reminded me to delegate, 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 to which I have, to the point where he goes, enough, enough, enough. So there are some decisions that need to be made, but I believe in building consensus. And so whether that's been having a working group set up for them to move forward on a project or specific issues, it's always been not President Foster's decision, it's been the board's decision. And that, I'm a little surprised by your comment, but again, if there are instances, and I certainly have not heard much from my other board members here, that there is some lack of inclusion for them. But if there is something, I am certain I will hear about it by noon today. So hopefully we'll get that addressed if there is something, and we'll move forward on a more productive basis. So thank you for your comments.
Number 60.
Good morning. Patanama 136596. From taking an informal survey of more than 20 RCSC employees, it has been made clear to me that they almost universally dislike the new navy blue polo shirts uniform and would like to go back to Hawaiian shirts. Here are the problems with that navy blue polyester shirt. It traps body heat, makes outdoor work very uncomfortable, and I've been told they can get quite stinky. It's an unflattering shape, for women especially. It looks drab, grim, and is not distinctly recognizable. It's more suitable for a police force than for our helpful RCSC staff. Is that the image that we want to present to our current and potential future residents? I've already heard that new shirts are being considered, hopefully going back to the colorful, fun Hawaiian shirts, so I will leave it at that. Speaking of an image that makes Sun City look like it's in a state of law enforcement siege, what is with the security guards in both of our sweet little libraries? I've heard that it was part of a deal that RCSC made in contract negotiations with the Maricopa County Library System after the amazing Save Our Sun City Libraries campaign. Again, I feel that this is an unsavory and mistaken representation of what Sun City truly is. Yes, sometimes there are security guards in large metropolitan downtown libraries in inner cities and high crime areas. Why ever would we need to have uniformed guards patrolling the stacks of our tiny libraries and barricaded behind that oversized podium fortress that they have? We were told that there were alleged incidents of unacceptable behavior, but no proof of those incidents was ever shared with us residents or RCSC members. It was all gossip and rumors. Yet a decision was made that affects everyone in our community. Bad behavior cannot be totally avoided in any society. We cannot wall ourselves off from the problems of the world. What's next? Concertina wire on the chain link fences surrounding our rec centers? Now, I'm sure the guards are nice people and not bullies. I only question, why are they there and how can we get rid of them? Thank you.
Well, this was not really a decision of the board or of RCSC. It was, in fact, part of a negotiation to extend the lease of those facilities with Maricopa County. It was Maricopa County who said, we're going to put guards in there. It wasn't the RCSC. So if there's a concern, it perhaps respectfully is misplaced that it wasn't the RCSC that was saying we need to improve security here. Maricopa County has libraries all over Maricopa County, and apparently they felt there was need to have security. And so that was part of their proposal in that lease agreement. And yes, there they are. And there's not much we can do at the moment. It's a 5-year lease. We could always open renegotiation if that was, if you're really offended by that. But they are intended to maintain so that there isn't an incident there. So hopefully they're a deterrent and there won't be any concerns going forward. And next time the lease comes up, we could revisit that.
Work shirts.
Work shirts. Thank you. You are not alone in raising a concern about the shirts. That has been, let me say, that has been raised by our employees numerous occasions. unfortunately, the Hawaiian shirts were raised by employees on numerous occasions as well. So while there is a certain contingent of employees who are thrilled to death with those Hawaiian shirts, there is a significant number who were not. So we are still working on potential changes to those shirts, but there have been no decisions at the moment. Yes.
I know you can't see it, but one of our tech people up there is giving thumbs down to Hawaiian shirts, and they don't want it, and no way. And I can't imagine going to work 5 days a week wearing a Hawaiian shirt. We might need a different shirt, but not a Hawaiian shirt.
Thank you for your input. But that's not intended to be, thank you for raising that and expressing your concern. Indeed, the employees have had valid concerns about those shirts. The thought initially was, okay, anybody wearing those blue shirts could be, you could identify them and know they're an RCSC employee. Yes, there were some downsides to that particular shirt and the material that it was made of. We are looking at that as potentially trying to change that. They're not inexpensive. It would require some changes in the budget again. But I think that's something that we will continue to look at and try to get perhaps there'll be something so that someone at the pool is wearing a light blue shirt or an orange shirt or something that really identifies them so you can see that, versus someone who's a mechanic on a golf course who is going to get that shirt pretty messy, and a darker shirt doesn't show the dirt quite as bad. But in any event, there is some work being done to try and address that issue.
Did Chris want to talk about libraries? Did Chris want to talk about libraries? Did you want to talk
Did you? No, I'm good. Okay.
Number 61, please.
Good morning. My name is Cindy Brown, 150352, and I would like to address the cap fee and improvement fee, preservation improvement fee, for all new owners in Sun City to pay. First, I'd like to state that my career of over 40 years was in land title insurance, so I am very familiar with real estate transactions, the process of closing, and the legal terminology. Typical standard operating procedure for title companies to meet the requirement of their underwriters is to record provided legal documents through the real estate transaction prior to dispersing funds, i.e., example, funds to RCSC. According to the corporate bylaws and the CC&Rs of Sun City, it states, quote, every property owner in Sun City must sign a facilities agreement that obligates themselves to pay annual fees and other fees, capital preservation fee and improvement, regardless of whether they occupy the property or use the facilities. This agreement is a legal binding agreement executed by the new deeded owner and should be recorded with the county to ensure funding is released to RCSC. This is a mandatory agreement. It's come to my knowledge that facilities agreements are not always executed or recorded on a conveyance of title. If no agreement has been recorded through the normal operating procedure, no funds would be paid to RCSC. Keeping in mind the capital improvement fee is currently $1,500 and the PIF, preservation improvement fee, is $4,000. That's $5,500 that is to be collected from every new deeded owner in Sun City. There appears to be a disconnect or failure to follow requirements For example, near my neighborhood, there are at least 7 homes where there have been no facilities agreement recorded indicating no fees were paid to RCSC. To my knowledge, the issue points largely at closings happening outside of Sun City, outside of Arizona, outside of the country, and mainly cash transactions. Had fees been collected on just the 7 homes in my neighborhood, our annual rec center, that amount of money would have been $38,500. Perhaps if all the fees were collected, our annual rec center fee would not have to perpetually increase each and every year. Relying on county workers and title companies to ensure that all the agreements are provided and recorded and fees collected, I'm out of time, appears to be not working as intended. How will RCSC ensure that each property transaction has the appropriate fees collected? Thank you.
Well, thank you. That is very interesting. Mr. McCurdy, do you have any information regarding these comments?
So, President Foster, we are aware that there are occasions where there will be a sale of a property that doesn't go through traditional hands, and so we may not immediately be aware of it. We're constantly researching, reviewing ownership transactions, and if we are made aware after the fact, we will go after the proper fees and the proper documentation of that home sale. But sure, if there is something that doesn't go through title and is not recorded, we know that there are cases where that happens, but we're constantly researching and trying to make sure that we are aware and have collected the proper fees for transactions that may not go through traditional title, as an example.
Okay. Ma'am, not that I'm trying to be the RCSC police here, but can you provide Mr. McCurdy with those addresses? If you have documented evidence that this has in fact not been paid? Thank you.
Thank you. And that goes for anybody else who might know the same thing happening. Please do.
That's just additional funds that you, the members, and we, the board, would not be paying if everyone else was paying their fair share. So let's see if we can clean that up, if indeed that's the case.
Number 62, please. Anybody have number 62? Number 63. Number 64.
Good morning. My name is Sandy Pasick, number 119180. And each year I try to present the same idea in hopes that this will change. But I live near the intersection of Burns, which is the same as Lindgren and Bell Road, and the timing of the light is about 5 minutes. It's not based on the real traffic. It's just set amount. You can look both ways, and there's no traffic either way. And so this year, I'm all about solutions. I think everybody should have a remote control to be able to change the light. So, anyway, I know I've called the city engineer a couple times, and they're for the greater good, and they want to move the traffic from east to west. And I don't think that we should have to live our life based on that. I think we should be in control of our surroundings. We were at the end of the earth 30, 60 years ago, and now we're right in the city, so we count too, and our time is valuable as well. Then, as far as the shirts, I wanted to say that polyester raises your estrogen, and that could be why some men are getting breasts. And we should go back to cotton, and I suggest a beautiful color like turquoise or fuchsia or something bright, so we stand out. That is kind of resort-like. Anyway, let's see. Also, I'd like to bring back the golf lanes. People are in their golf carts right in the center of wide lanes. The golf cart used to be painted on the right side, and they're failing to move over. So, and people aren't signaling in the golf carts, and even as simple as like putting guides in our Sun City Independent, of how we can live better. I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, the Schertz comments, so ditto what we just went through. I am familiar with that intersection that you just talked about, because I sit there in my golf car and eventually run over and press the button to get the light to change, because I agree, it takes a long time. And even if there's no traffic there, I mean, you sit there, oh, those cameras, if I jump across there, I'll probably the camera will probably flash or something. But so I go and I push the button and run back to my golf car and then cross when the light changes. So I understand and commiserate with your comment there, because I experience that frequently. Well, because it's not really, this is the rec centers of Sun City, not the stoplights of Sun City. So we really can't do, I mean, we can, ask, but we can't make that decision. So it is the Maricopa County, and SHOA, they cannot do anything with that either. Did they not have a streets division or something?
If I can make a comment on that, they do have a meeting for roads and traffic. So you can go there, and they do have McDOT that is there. I forget which day it is, but that would be one place to specifically go. But I will also say, because I've made comments to Maricopa County before too, because I traverse that intersection quite a bit, and I won't tell you how I handle that, but but we do now have a county supervisor that's very attuned to Sun City. And so that may be something that you want to pass on your remarks to Supervisor Lesko. Again, some of those constraints are from the traffic and their safety issues, so I'm not sure if she would even be able to make an adjustment on that. Because again, if there's federal safety issues that they're putting in or restricting themselves to, I personally asked them if they could, on the arrows, because that's the one I use the most, if they could at least have a red, a green, and then a flashing yellow, because like Peoria does a lot of that. And so if there's no cars, because I'll be sitting there to turn, and you can look down for 2 or 3 blocks and there's no traffic coming, but I can't turn because my arrow is red. But again, some of those, when I contacted them, they had some restrictions. So all we can do is continue to investigate that and push that, and then see what we can achieve. But as the president said, we would like to be able to control everything that has pertinence to our community, but it's basically the rec center facilities that is the only thing that we have control over.
Thank you, Director Gray. Golf lanes, well, again, same situation. Rec center really can't control that, can comment on it, but again, that's a decision by Maricopa County. And so we'll have to, I guess, bring that along with various other intersection issues that I'm sure there's more than one, that if there's things that people want to communicate, we have to go through the proper channel.
And the other thing to remember is golf carts are licensed vehicles, so they're allowed to be in the main lanes. If someone is not as user-friendly and doesn't move over, and they're going within the vicinity of 25 miles an hour or 30 miles an hour on say, Del Webb, then they are following the traffic laws. So I always move over in my cart, but I know there are other golfers that say, no, I can drive here too. So you run up against that thought
And
process.
people have emergencies too. They need to get to the hospital, and the lanes were marked. My grandparents were here, they were marked. So maybe with new pavement over time,
Yeah,
maybe that changed.
Those aren't actually golf lanes, ma'am. Those are just lanes on the side of, there's just parking spaces are on the side of the road. It's not actually a golf cart lane.
Yeah, they were small, like bikes could use it too, but they were small, like maybe this wide.
Yeah, and a number of those still have them, but they're not, as far as I know, they're not specifically known as golf cart lanes.
Okay, thank you for your comment. We're beyond your time. Ed is from Showa, president of Showa. Yeah, president, if I remember correctly.
Yes, President. Anyways, my number is 116313, if anybody needs that. Everybody here probably knows who I am. My working career was with Traffic Signals Department for ADOT and the city of Peoria. But what they need to understand is that's according to the Manual Unified Traffic Control Devices, that they have standards that they have to go by. So you can call the county, report an issue with them, and we have at the Roads and Safety asked many, many times for the painted sides so we could drive our golf carts and feel a little bit safer out there. But they're saying because of the pavement width and the mediums and the bigger, like 107th, they're saying they can't do that because it has to be 44 feet of continuous asphalt. So there's many, many different aspects that the Department of Transportation has to go through in order to justify what they're doing. So just a little information.
Apparently, we need faster golf cars.
Oh no, because you'll get ticketed for faster golf cars. I know that it's happened, not to me, but I know that it's happened.
Okay, next.
Number 65, please.
Okay.
Number 65. Number 66, please. 67. Dave, what's the last number on the roll there?
Okay, so everyone who wishes to speak has done so. Ma'am?
One last thing I forgot is I would like to vote again for gated communities, and I know they've looked into it, but even the illusion of having a gated community and a button, it'll reduce all the solicitors going up and down our streets. People have walked out of backyards sleeping, and if you look at the Goodwill on the corner where Haymaker is, you can walk on the property and get through an aisle to go to Goodwill. It's just an illusion that they're gated, and you can't walk from the restaurant there. But even if you have something, it might deter some of that.
I would say the posse is proposing some, attempting to propose some regulations about soliciting to try and address an issue where there have been some solicitors who perhaps were less than honest in some of their transactions with members of Sun City. So the posse has taken it upon themselves to investigate whether or not the county can impose some regulations as far as identification and registration of solicitors, so that you as a homeowner would be able to identify someone at your door as a legitimate solicitor or not.
Okay, I like that because we are kind of a target here for being taken advantage of. Thank you.
Director Gray?
Yes, thank you. Yes, the posse, Showa, and I think there's a couple other organizations that are working together. In fact, they're going to have a meeting here which I think the rec center has provided the facility to go over scams. So it'll help communicate to our members what to watch out for. But there are some groups working together to actually address that, and they're meeting with our county supervisor, Debbie Lesko, to see what can be done. A lot of cities can do that, but since we're unincorporated, we don't have the ability to do that. That's why they are working through the county supervisor to see if something can be done to restrict and make it illegal to just go door to door and solicit.
But the thing to remember also is that our streets are public thoroughfares. It's not private property, so you can't gate the community, because if you gate the community, you can only do that on private properties, and then you're also responsible for upkeep of the roads yourself, having lived in a gated community before. So I don't think we want to incur that expense, and we just can't do it because it's not legal.
Okay. Treasurer Borsky, did you want to make an announcement here?
Yeah, I have one. Director Collins called me, texted me this morning and asked me to remind everyone that bingo has started, but it starts at 6 p.m., not 6:15 like it did in the past. So you have been notified that it's 6 o'clock. He also wanted to give the Prides a big pat on the back. They've been doing a lot of work this summer, and he wanted the public to know they should just go out and look and see how nice things look. Thank you.
I think we were still hoping to give you a demonstration of the website. However, those folks apparently are not yet here, so perhaps we will take 5 minutes or so. Oh, uh-oh. Mr. Dearmeyer may have some questions on the live stream.
I've got some live stream updates here. We have 35 people watching right now.
Excellent.
We have some thank yous. A couple of the, one question's about employee situations that we can't discuss in a public forum, or that we won't discuss at all. And then we have a question that someone wants us to speak about the community room, the new community room. Maybe just introduce that, kind of what we did.
I should have mentioned that in the announcements earlier. Thank you for bringing that up.
Before you get into that, sorry, one more thing about the live chat or the live stream. We're testing this today, so we're better prepared for Mountain View. We are having a little bit of trouble with some people being able to chat, so we got to do a little more research on why they were struggling. It looks like they've done everything right. Couldn't figure it out, so we're still working through those issues for anybody watching.
Well, I'm in the room. That normally means computers will malfunction. So I apologize for that. Yes, Treasurer Borsky.
Okay. The community room. What happened with the community room is I took it on myself. I heard saw a lot of postings where somebody wanted a place where they could go meet their friends and whatever, and didn't feel they were getting any response. So as the foundation president, I have the ability to reserve a room. So I reserved a room to have people gather. And they did. And they talked about different things they liked, and they talked about the community room. So I came back to the board and I said, residents are looking for some place where they can meet and not have to have a reserved area. Talked to Mike Dearmeyer. Mike searched high and low, and we found the billiard room at Fairway as a non-reserved room without any club attendance. That was not a club in there, it was just billiard tables. So the decision was made, we would take that room, we would modify a little bit, we took out some pool tables, we put in some dart games. We got new dart games at Bell's, so we moved the old ones over to Fairway. We put in some tables and chairs. There was no money spent on that room. The rumor that Foundation spent money on that room is strictly a rumor. We spent no money on that room. And that's how the room got to be. There were other places where you could go on Monday from 8 to 9:30, and Tuesday 1 to 3, and Wednesday maybe 1 to 4, but not on the second week of the month. And that's just ridiculous. We would have to have a roadmap. So that's how that room was chosen. I would hope people go there. We've had positive comments. I don't know if anyone was there for the football game yesterday. I thought about going and checking it out, and I was just too darn lazy. I just stayed home in my pajamas all day.
I would just add to your comments, Treasurer Borski, that the board didn't just willy-nilly select that room. No. I mean, we did look at all of the usage logs for that room. And so and I certainly got a number of emails from folks who said, hey, you took a room that we were using and you did not ask any of the stakeholders about that, or the previous users of that room. Well, with all due respect, and I mean this sincerely, you need to sign in. I mean, we looked at those sign-in pages and they were basically empty pages. People were coming in, they may have been using it, but they didn't take the time to sign in, so we had very little evidence of members using that facility. So it kind of got moved up on the possibility list of that might be a room that could be used for this alternative purpose, because it didn't look like there was evidence it was being used elsewhere or otherwise. So now we get some emails from folks who are irate that they don't have 5 pool tables there that they can use, but they do have 2 pool tables that they can use and a variety of other things that are there for the community to use. So I'm sorry if you're offended that the room was repurposed a little bit, slightly. But please, when you go in and use one of our facilities, show your card, sign in on the list so that we know what kind of usage is taking place, so that we don't look at that record and go, it is or it's not being utilized. So we have no other way of really, other than, I suppose, putting cameras everywhere, which just seems a little intrusive, but we need to have some evidence of whether the facility is being utilized or not. And people just did not take the time to do that. We looked at that log and come to the conclusion, apparently, it was not being utilized very heavily. So that added to the decision to go in that direction. Yes.
Which you do, and we also, those pool tables were refurbished, so they look like new. They've been rebalanced. And the one thing that I went on vacation, and when I left, this was an idea. 2 weeks later, it was done. Nothing works that fast in Sun City. Nothing.
You're welcome. The left table, though, slants to the right. The 8 ball should not have gone there.
No, it does not. You just can't shoot a straight line.
Oh.
You're just a bad shot.
Yeah, it's a lot like his golf swing.
Oh, here we go. Yes, Director Gray.
I want to appreciate Anita's work, or Director Borski's work in getting that set up. She was very fundamental in making that happen. But I also want to give kudos to Mike Diermeyer, because the discussion came about after he started having some meetings, lunch with Mike. And so he set that up so that our residents could actually talk with him, ask questions, and communicate, open a channel of communication, and even provided pizza on those events. So again, Director Borski has really been a major proponent in getting that room going, but that started out of that initial communication with Mike Diermeyer, and so I think he deserves to have some of the kudos for helping to contribute to that too.
And so does Sam at the back door. He got his crew to get that place set up in record time. Thanks, Sam.
Okay. Have your folks arrived? Mr. Diermeyer, anything else on the live stream?
The chat is heating up. So we have Jean Totten has asked a couple of questions. She was from the August management report on page 4, safety and compliance with board approval. RCSC will sunset the customer engagement platform effective August 30th. The platform was originally implemented in 2024 to replace paper comment cards Despite outreach and training efforts, member usage remained low. When did the board meet and make the decision to drop the electronic method is her first question. Yeah. Do you want me to handle this?
Yes, because I'm not sure I have the proper information for that.
You wanna do it or you
Board
want me to do it?
decision, correct?
So the member engagement platform was set up, and I think the biggest issue, it was a third-party software package that we subscribed to. It required users to set up an account, and that proved to be a bridge too far, I guess, for a lot of people. The engagement of that software was and still to this day is extremely low. If we get 10 comments a month, that's a heavy month, and it's $17,000 a year. So with the new website coming in and the ability to utilize that as a better platform to collect information, comments from members, that software package subscription came up for renewal at the end of August, and we decided not to renew it. So that was the gist of that decision.
Hopefully that answers the question. So there's probably worded poorly on the management report. Sorry about that.
Okay.
The next question is, work has now started on the clubhouse. Are those same PIF monies that were spent, $6 million, to be used for clubhouse upgrades? I'm assuming that is a question about Quail, the Quail project.
Director Renio, do you have an update for us on Quail?
As with the construction part? I'm sorry,
Okay.
President Foster.
Maybe I might be able to do that, Eddie.
Okay.
There was money in that project earmarked to do work in the clubhouse area, and we took that part of the budget to improve the clubhouse. So we thought it would be smart, since we're going to have a brand-new golf course out there, we should have a little more modernized clubhouse and some bathrooms. So that's what we meant in the management report about that. So it is the same PIF monies.
Okay. Other questions, Mr. Dearmeyer?
Nope, that looks like all of it.
Okay.
Yeah, she's on.
Oh, excellent. So are they prepared to give us a demonstration of the website? Yeah, why don't we just take 5 minutes here while they set up, and then we'll give you the demonstration what the website is going to look like. Okay, folks, I just had some information that our presenter went to the wrong RCSC building. So he's going to be another 5 minutes before he gets here, so just hang on, but we will get to this website in a few more minutes. So thank you for your patience.
So we don't, is that something we would need to vote on in the board?
Well, technically, I guess technically he has a point. The committee is supposed to make recommendations, not decisions. I don't know that that was a huge financial commitment. It's like $5,000 or something. So it seems well within so anything under $25,000, well, the GM can make those decisions without taking them to the board. Otherwise, it's just on minutia detail. So I think he has a point, I guess. The board could acknowledge that had happened, but I don't think it requires that the board vote on it because of the size of the financial commitment.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Somebody's adamant about it.
We don't need him stirring up a beast.
He's an,
Yeah, that's kind.
I've heard that he was a draftsman. I haven't really heard what his educational or vocational background is, but if you haven't actually been in business or run a group of people, sometimes your perspective is
Yeah,
short-sighted.
it's myopic.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to let him know that, but I wanted to kind of confirm with you before I did it.
No, right? He knows those rules, so I'm surprised.
Well, where would I go on it?
Okay. Yes.
Nothing, just hanging around.
Oh, okay.
Just, I'm stunned at how short the exchange was.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. It's either, well, people aren't back yet, and it's also, maybe, hopefully, well, we'll see if it happens next month, if it's also a sign too. By next month, they'll have a lot more stuff to talk about.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Mountain View, and Mountain View.
Did you say we're ready?
I'm still waiting for this guy to show up.
I thought he was here.
No, there was one guy who was here, but his
Yeah, we all know that John's marriage.
We do, but that doesn't mean, saying stuff from the the question Connie Joe asked. Well, she's gotten most of the numbers. She should have all of them. It shouldn't be here, I'll show you what I want to show you.
So Connie's closing on her house on Friday.
Except I know she's going to want to. I've talked to her. She's been begging for numbers. She came on, yeah, she wanted to burn the bridges. She went, okay, that's cool. I wasn't a college guy, but the point was, well, because I watch it. The women are like second-class citizens. When I hear that she can't get every number in her capacity, I'm going, that's impossible. You don't dole out the numbers as you see fit because you're the president. It's just...
You guys will have to wait until it's published, but there are changes.
I have to keep sitting on my hands. You're doing, I posted that thing on Thought and Tools about all you've accomplished. It's you. And you've done it without a general manager. Spectacular. Now, can you keep up the pace? I don't know. We'll see. Good you're interviewing that many people.
Yeah.
It appears that the guy they hired in Sun City West is doing some good stuff over there. So, but they've got really aggressive boards too. Pretty well trained. So we'll see.
There's Brad. Thank you.
All right, see
And I
ya.
appreciate your thoughts on that, Bill.
Just,
We'll let it lie for now. I think your point is very valid. And we'll make sure we
there was
just
no
let it lie.
upside.
Okay.
It didn't help it. It opened old wounds. You know how that works.
I do. Somebody will put something. Go ahead.
Folks, we're ready to reconvene and look at this website presentation. So if you want to take your seats, we'll get underway.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for staying to watch the new website, to look at the new website. I would like to share a little bit about our journey. I know there's been a lot of questions about the amount of time it's taken us to get here today to where we can actually show you a working website, and some confusion about the existing website. So we actually did not start this journey until August of last year. I know there's a lot of thoughts that this has been an 18-month journey. It has not. We only started this process in August of last year. We went through the bid process where we had different companies present to us. We chose a company, which is Tallwave, who are here. This is Brad and Jason. And in the process of doing that, Aaron, who used to work for us, was updating at the behest of Matthew, was updating the current website. So the website you see today is the old website with what we call in the industry, we put some lipstick on a pig. So basically we made it look really pretty. When Aaron left, we did not have, we had to make some decisions about how the website would work and how much funds we would invest in an old website. So as we've moved forward, the old website has been pretty static. And I think everybody will agree with that. It's been pretty static. We haven't done a lot of updates because we've invested all our time and energy and funding into the new website. Now, the goal of this new website when we started out was to be able to have one login, member number and password. So when you guys sign up for this new website, when you first hit it, it's going to prompt you to sign in for the first time and to register. Please use your member number. Using member number and password is in all of our best interest. Everybody has a card with their member number on it. You don't forget, you forget email addresses, you don't necessarily forget member numbers. So I'm asking that everybody do that. And in the process of this, sometime around the end of October, the beginning of November, we signed a contract. We had the holidays, and we started collecting requirements. We went through our requirements gathering and then our design phase. And we ran into our first challenge integrating with TAG. So basically, for those of you that use the lottery, you know that TAG can be somewhat challenging from a technology perspective. That was our first gotcha, what I call a gotcha. We were able to resolve that and move forward, and then we started developing the website. As we got closer to August of this year, we ran into another challenge, which TAG was very responsive to. I want to share with you, they were responsive to this, and you're going to see a different portal. So the old portal is changed, and the new portal looks more like a website rather than just a bunch of links and stuff like that. It still has all the drop downs and stuff inside the portal, but we only control so much of what's in the portal. Okay, so TAG did their bit, Tallwave did their bit, and then we integrated. And we've had, for what we want to call a single sign-on, we've had some challenges. We believe we've overcome all of those challenges. We are keeping our fingers very crossed today because anytime you showcase a new website, it's a little traumatic for the people that have been working on it because they're sitting there worried that something is not going to work. Because technology is like that. When you want it the most to show off, it will just dig its head in the sand and say, not today, folks. So I will tell you, I've been in the website, I've been using it. This is phase 1. We have a whole list of things that we've gotten from people that have provided feedback to us for phase 2. And there's a maintenance where we're going to continue to maintain this website now so it stays current, it stays relevant. All of the things we talked about when we said we needed in the technology committee a new website. So I'm going to turn this over to Mike. Mike is going to tell you what our steps are going to be with regard to the website as it goes live. Tallwave is then going to show you the website. And we hope you really love it. We anticipate you will have some ideas of things that can improve or change. We encourage you to share those with us. Board of Directors at suncityaz.org. Please feel free to share those with us. Thank you.
All right. Thank you to everyone for sticking around to see this. And hello to everybody on the live stream that will see it now and see it later. Chris pointed out that when we go live with the single sign-on, there will be a member activation that will need to get done again. There will be detailed instructions that are going out. We'll email them. We'll put them on the regular portion of the website so you'll be able to see it without being logged in, and just regular instructions on how to handle getting logged back in, because once you get logged in, it's a seamless transition. It really works well. We're also going to engage in a call center. So if you run into the login sheet and you can't remember your email address, because it sent you the login information, that email address, you'll have a phone number you can access that will be able to give you the email information to be able to get into the website, so that we're not bombarding our cardholder services crew, so that we can be able to assist you the best we can. So with that said, look for email notifications coming out with some instructions. And at this moment, I'm going to turn it over to Brad and Jason. I'm going to drive the bus on the website so you can see it's actually easy, because I can handle it. And these guys are going to talk to you and kind of talk us through it to show some of the features and functionality. So here you go, guys.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. All right, if we can get this up on the screen so everyone can see it. There we go. So we start out with a couple different sections of the website. This first page that you're seeing is what we call the home page. And it has a lot of features and functionality built into it, so it's kind of your one-stop shop of where you can go get information. We made the login at the very top right, so you could either sign in right there or see that you're signed in. So that's one step if you want to instantly log in.
Turn the lights down. Alan's working on that.
Okay. So hopefully you can all see it, but if we can get those down, that may help a little. There we go. Okay, so the very first thing you're going to see is the top navigation in that white bar across the top, and that's going to break up the site into a few different sections. The Our Community section, which is going to show you things that have to do with the community, resources that you can get into, mission, vision, values, and community resources. Everything like the board meetings, everything is going to be housed under that area. The second section is the find things to do. This is all of the clubs, arts and crafts, card games, dances. All of these will be listed out here. You have bowling on the right-hand side. You have the chartered club's office and the recreation centers also on the right. So that's a quick, easy way to get to any of the clubs or activities there. And then the third section is events and meetings, where you're going to see all of the upcoming events. This is a great section to see what's up and coming, things that you can sign up for, things that you can get tickets to, and it gives all of the event holders a location where they can produce imagery and descriptions and things at their own behest, right? So they can get their information out to you and embellish on that rather than relying upon the team to fill these in. The next section is the plan your round. So once you're logged in, you can go in and book your tee times, but this gives you all the resources that you would want in trying to find what's on the calendar, where you can go, which ones are packed, which ones aren't, what's up and coming, tee times. And then the very last thing is the My Sun City, which will bring you to the login page. So that's the navigation at the top. As you scroll through the homepage, the very first thing we tried to make front and center was the search bar. So you're going to see that right in your face. You come there, you can search for anything. We put some examples in there: archery, painting, dancing. But if you just type in anything, it's going to search the entire site and search all of the events, clubs, you name it. You're going to find it through the search. Tried to make that super intuitive and easy. But yeah, please play with that and let us know what you think. We're always open to feedback and refining. Below that is a little bit of a showcase of, all about golf, what's happening this week, and then, when you want to find something to do and just focus there, you can do it. More showcasing of how many members we have, how many chartered clubs, the golf courses, recreation centers, so that everybody can see right there front and center, here's what we have to offer. Going down below that, you have a showcase of a lot of activities. You get to see things in motion, so you get to see people doing Zumba and dancing, other types of dancing, swimming, ping pong. All of these have been showcased so that you can see that they are activities and people are performing those activities and enjoying them. So you could find any other activities that you think you might like by clicking the Find Activities button there. And if you scroll down a little further, here's where the golf courses reside, so you can go explore all of the 8 courses. There's a couple showcased right there. There's little arrows to navigate so you can see a little bit more about each one and go directly to a specific course if you prefer to use that method, or you can click the Explore Courses button, and that'll take you to all of the courses. Okay, and scrolling down further, this is the list of all of the centers. So immediately you're going to see, which center do I want to go to? I've got it quickly available right on the homepage. I can go to any single one and then go find more information. They have the directions, the phone numbers, the hours, everything listed under that recreation center when you get to it. But you also have a very robust navigation and filtered by activity on the left-hand side. So right now we're looking at all centers, but you can look at just arts and crafts, you can look at just card games, just dance, just education, just fitness, just music, whatever it is that you want. There's a quick and easy way to get right to that type of activity right from the homepage. So we tried to make that as easy as possible for everybody to find. As we add new clubs, activities, events, they will be grouped into those buckets so that as you click them, you'll see new ones getting added as they arise. In the footer, you can sign up and stay updated so that you get the news, events, anything that's up and coming delivered to your email. Just do that by typing your email address into that box in the bottom and hitting continue. But there's other navigation down there, like how to get to the recreation centers of Sun City via address, which will take you to a Google map, which you can share with friends, family, people that are visiting you, to let them know exactly how to get there via Google Maps. It shows the hours of operation and then the phone number as well. So that's the homepage. Tried to be very inclusive of adding everything in there so that you could get to it super, super quickly and easily. But let's take a second and go into the Find Things to Do section at the top. From here, I mentioned that there's activities listed on the left, but the clubs are in the center, so the ones with the pictures that you see there, you could click on 500 Club, you can click on aerobics, you can click on any of those and it'll take you directly to it. Or we can click on bowling at Sun City if you want to. Do you want to step through one of those? Yeah. So if you click on bowling, it takes you to a list of the bowling lanes. If you're logged in and you have a favorite, you can favorite with that little star that is showcased right here on the image. That will, if you're not logged in, it's going to prompt you to log in. If you are logged in, it's going to save it in your favorites. So as you find events that maybe aren't a today thing, something you may want to do, next week or later in the week or later in the month even, you can favorite those. And as you log in, you can see your list of favorites and things. So you don't forget that, oh yeah, I wanted to go do that, or I would love to go check that out. So that's one way to save all of these. But again, you can go into each and every one of these, and then you can get more information as it comes up. Let's go to show all clubs at the top. Yep. So when you go to show all clubs, this is going to list out every single club that's out there. Again, you can favorite them here. There's arrows on the right and left that you can select to spin through them. You can see what today's activity is. So you can see the exchange meeting is today. Below that, you're going to see a listing of all the centers, but you still have that navigation on the left-hand side that's carried through where you can get to any type of activity by type. If you know there's something specific that you want to do, if you're looking for some fitness or something like that, you could go in and just go right to it from here. So we tried to carry that forward so that you could see it all the way through. Let's go to, do you want to go to golf? And just show, here's the listing. Once you go to golf, you see the different courses. There's an entire section here that's a FAQ, frequently asked questions, or Q&A, the common questions that everybody asks. We'll try and post here at the bottom. It's fairly intuitive to use, but basically if you see the question, you click on the question you want, it'll expand and show you the answer. So as questions come in from members, we'll answer those and we'll pop those in here so that future people can have those exact same answers and know exactly what other people are asking. And that's going to help us evolve the website. So if everybody keeps asking the same questions, how do I get here? Where is this? What are the hours? We're going to start to fill in and backfill the information on the site to house that information that you're not finding readily available. If you were to click Book Now, this is where it would ask you to log in. So let's go ahead and book now. You're logged in. Oh, you're going outside right now. Oh, sorry. So you can book directly there. I apologize. If you're logged in, then it'll take you directly into it with being logged in. So from the My Sun City page, if you were to be logged in, then you can book directly from that. But this will take you directly to the course that you want and allow you to book your tee times. Let's see, we covered, let's go into one of the events if we can at the top under events and meetings. And let's pick the Liza and Judy show. So most events as they come up are gonna have sort of the same format that is gonna have imagery of the event. It's gonna have a description of the event, time, when it starts, what day it's on. But it's gonna give you the ability, again, to favorite it with the little star and the ability to buy the tickets right then and there. So you can click the buy tickets and that will take you to a page that will explain how to get those tickets, whether it's purchase in advance, whether it's show up at the event, whatever that is. It also has a box there where you can see where the show is located. So this particular show is at the Sundial Recreation Center. It gives the address. You can click those. Again, this will give you the ability to have it go directly to your phone, so you have a Google map to get there or send it out to friends and family, and the phone number to call. Pricing should be below, so you can see tickets for this one are $25 for card holders, $30 for members guests, and $40 for non-card holders. All of them will kind of have this same format and layout. We tried to keep it with what we call a hero image, which is that big image right in the front and center at the top, to showcase what you're going to see, to make it easy to, again, understand what am I getting into, what is this all about, without having to do a lot of reading. But then below it, you have the additional detail to showcase that event. I think that's most of the major pieces of the site.
Why don't you do a club, like show them the glass club?
The Glass Club?
Yeah, because I think that way they get to see the timing.
Let's do a search. Do you want to do a search so that they can see how it works? You can go to the home page and search, or in the top, so Glass Club. Artistic stained glass? Yeah. So this is the way the search works. You get your listing, and it's going to be prominently displayed by the name of the club first, and then information within the club. So if you have random keywords that you're searching for, it's going to search through all of the content, all of the names, everything on the site, and produce those results for you. So this is a club. Again, standard hero image up front. You get to see it. You get to see the name. You can see that there's a little green dot that says it's happening now. So you know that that's happening currently. You can favorite it again with that star that's there. And then you have below that the description, what it's about, how to contact us. It's got the email for the club. It's got the phone number from the club. And then you have the days on which the club is held and the hours in which the club is open. And then you have another section for this particular one, summer hours, June through August. If they have different hours that change, you should see those there. And below that, you have on the right-hand side, you have where is this club held. So if you need to know where it is, you can see it readily available. And then you have a photo gallery showcasing all of the great work that everybody's producing out there. And you can see, hey, these are the things that I can go create or learn how to do once I get there. We tried to do that in sort of a Pinterest style, if anyone's used Pinterest before, showcasing the images, kind of making it fun to scroll through and look. But yeah, that's the layout of the page. There are other recommended clubs at the bottom, so you may see these ones appear as you're scrolling through different clubs, different events on different pages of the site. So these are recommendations that we think you may like. Also, the Crafts at Bell, or the Jewelry Stained Glass and More, or the Lapidary, if you're interested in this event. So these are custom curated and tailored to be specific to the events that you're on. And the thought process is that if I'm interested in this one event, hey, here's something that's very similar to it, and I could go get engaged with that. And I can save these as favorites right directly from it, go investigate them further at a later time. But yeah, I think that's, the calendar, yes, sorry. So from the home page, you can see Mike clicked on the calendar button, and that takes you into the calendar, which allows you to see at a glance everything that's happening right now. The top yellow toggle buttons, very similar to what you'd see on an iPhone if there's iPhone users here. Sliders, Android pulls this in as well. So you toggle those back and forth. If you want to see board meetings, it's toggled on. If you want to not see board meetings, you can toggle that completely off. And then it disappears from the calendar. So you can choose and curate what you see on the calendar. If I only wanted to see golf, or if I only wanted to see sports or club events, I can do that at the top there. I can also choose what view I want. Do I want the full week? Do I want the month view? Maybe I want to see the entire month and what's going on. And then the little arrows next to that month and week view will give you the ability to step through the different weeks and months quickly. And then there's a button that says go back to today or go to today to bring you back where you were previously. So then if you can click on any one of those events that you see in the calendar. It'll show you a little brief synopsis on the right-hand side there. You can close that using the X at the top, or you can click View That Event, and it will take you to that event so that you can get even more detailed information. So now if I reboot the band, it takes me to the event. Again, same details. You have that big hero image at the top. You have the band name. You have the dates and times and the location. Again, showcasing the curated events that you may also like under the You Might Like section. What we've done here is created a way for recommendations of similar type activities or similar type events. And you'll see those throughout the website, always in the footer there. And I think, yeah, if you want to, do you want to show them how to log in real quickly? So clicking the sign in at the top right on any of the pages will bring you to the My Sun City page. You can also use the My Sun City link in the top navigation, and that will bring you to your My Sun City page. If you're not logged in, this is the page you will see. If you do log in, there you go. So it takes us to tag. And then it brings us back with a welcome message. And then if if Mike had had some saved clubs or courses or events, they would be showing in there. So it looks like you've got one saved in there that is the HOA Boat Parade. You would see the full list of everything that you have saved and favorited right there. But yeah, this is the single sign-in that Chris was talking about, of how we would go in and use one login and now be able to go in and do many different things. Now we're going to go to TEG.
It worked an hour ago. All right, well, I tested it before I did this, I swear.
We almost made it.
Wait, yep, there's always got to be one gotcha.
Okay, well, you would click here and you would get into what the new tag portal looks like, unfortunately.
Back-end URL for people to see. Saved?
Not saved. It didn't pop up. I don't remember what it is.
Are you talking about for the actual back office CMS where we would go in and edit, or for TEG?
The back
Oh, okay.
end for TAG. So one of the things to keep in mind is that we're actually not in production. So we don't know what they're doing in their test site right now. So we could not have permission because they're down doing an Elevate. We don't know for sure, but I did see it work myself this morning, but see?
So there we go. This is the new latest version that TEG has put together that kind of showcases it in more of that website format rather than being a little less friendly and just a list of links. So they produced a newer version now, and this is what, when we roll out, you will be seeing.
Yeah.
You go back to sign out and then show them what to do if they were just signing in for the first time.
I'm not prepared for that, because I already did it, so I have it in screenshots, and I don't have, I mean, I can, hang on.
So Jim, if we did that, they have to get a confirmation email and everything, and he wouldn't be able to get the confirmation email.
The first sign-in is going to look like this. Yeah, good point. My voice is loud, but not that loud. The first sign is going to look like this. You're going to want to go down to this member activation, and all this is going to get detailed in the emails that I send out. But you click that member activation, it'll send an activation code to your email address that's on file with cardholder services, and then you'll have a code that will allow you to access, and once it's accessed, you'll have full access to the website.
Ma'am, did you have a question?
I do. I was just curious if we know the website address.
It'll be the same. It will be the same exact website address. There'll be no change in the website address.
Board might be able to use it so that they don't overlap all the great activities, so we can get the maximum out of our day.
Well, use the calendar better so we don't have multiple things going on at the same time. We'll have a better calendar all in one place with this website, so that'll be possible. Any other questions?
Yeah, we can't promise not having overlaps. There's just too many things going on.
That's a good problem to have. A lot of activities going on.
Bill?
Two things. Would you go to the YouTube channel? I want to see how that's displayed. And then we had a lot of history on there, including each of the centers. Where is that located? If you click on the center itself, will that bring up the history of it, or is it?
It can. We haven't made an official decision on that yet, but that's actually a good, I hadn't thought about exactly how we could do that. That's actually a good idea. So that'll likely be the path I go.
Because it was on a YouTube channel already. But...
Well, our YouTube channel didn't change. It's all in there. That's just a link. YouTube's off the site.
Okay, so you couldn't click on it. This isn't live.
The link to YouTube is live. If I click that link, I'll go to YouTube, and you can see, because YouTube's a separate item from this.
You'll also have a link from the homepage of the website to get to the YouTube channel?
Yes, it's in the footer.
How about other organizations? Have we linked to them?
We are going to have a full page. We're actually in development of it. It's not ready yet, so it likely won't be ready at launch. But our community resources page is going, you're going to be able to click on this, and we're going to have the same left-hand navigation in that, where you click on our community partners, and information in this main hero space here will pop up, so that we're promoting our community partners. We want to be a good partners to the community. So it'll be in this community resources page. This is not how we want it right now. It's getting redeveloped, but as you can see, we're going to partner with all our partners and make sure they're a big part of RCSC's website.
So is there a way to drive the algorithm to make this more of a marketing site than just a member user site?
Yes, so I can handle that one. Yes, so it is built in that way. So it's built in a very, what we call responsive and search engine friendly manner, so that it will be picked up by Google and Bing and all of the various search engines out there. And on the back end, we've got a heavy amount of analytics that we're producing. So we're going to be seeing all of the data coming in, and that's going to inform us and help us make better data-driven decisions on anything that we change, utilization of certain sections of the site, frustrations that people may be having. So we're definitely tracking a lot of information back there. It's just we need to collect it once everybody gets in to see how we're going to use it.
And I think Chris alluded to this. I'll get to a couple more of the questions. We have to treat this site like one of our buildings, one of our facilities. It's ever evolving for the members. It's not just throw it up there and it just sits stagnant for 10 years, and then in 10 years we go through this process again. We're going to ever grow this thing and continue to adapt. So, any other questions in the back there?
On the footer, you said that there was going to be a place to sign up for the email blast newsletters. Will we need to re-sign up?
No, you will not need to re-sign up.
Okay.
Yes.
My question is, who's responsible or accountable for uploading and changing the information? When I was moving here and I wanted to look and find different things, some of the links were 10 years old. So I'm just wondering, will each club have, are you going to have it closed so that a certain person can upload all of that?
So right now I have a few people that are trained to upload data and update data. We have brought our clubs department more into the website data updating, so that they'll be updating content for the clubs. Their responsibility will be the data for the clubs, and then we have another position that will handle the events, and we're bringing more people on board, so that way we have the people who are actually doing the work, updating the information and owning the information, where they make sure that the information is proper, it's right, it's correct.
I'm going to be bringing the microphone around to people.
Okay, thank you, Chris.
You had your hand up for some time.
We'll get to you guys.
Are you thinking of the future? Because a lot of people don't use computers anymore. Is this smartphone friendly? Are you going to have an app for this? Where are you going to go? Where do you see this going in the future?
It's already smartphone friendly. It's adaptable. This will do this if I shrink it, right, on my computer?
Yeah, but you're not sharing, so.
Can we share Mike's screen again, please? Miguel?
You gotta shrink it down. There you go.
So you can see, as we adjust the screen size, you can see that the mobile menu comes in here, and all of the items, the imagery becomes responsive and fits the screen. And then if we go out again, we're going to go out to tablet size, and you see it steps up again, and there's probably 12 different breakpoints or more as the items that we've taken into account. Sorry. We've tried to take into account the most common types of devices that everybody's using, so Apple iPads, the different sizes of iPhone versus Android phones, the different sizes of the smaller laptop computers versus these giant ones that are out, and then the widescreen monitors that people use, all of these different things. And we've also taken into account that some people may upsize their font and make that larger so that they can read things easier without impacting the usability of the site. So that's definitely something we're taking into account.
Hi, your website looks really nice. I was wondering if we could book a tee time like we can now, seeing all the golf course availability, instead of having to book individual like you just showed.
So the booking of the tee times will still work the same way they have in the past. It's just the look inside there looks a little different, but the booking will be the same.
Okay, except you showed if I wanted to book at Willow Creek, I had to book tee time, clicking on Willow Creek. Can I see, I will be able to see all the golf courses available?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
And the other thing too is it would really be nice, I think, to get your YouTube site a little bit more prominent than in the footer.
Okay.
And that would maybe promote people watching the board meetings and the exchanges a little bit more. So, thank you.
Thank you for the feedback.
Ready? I know Bill has, oh, here.
I may have missed this, but when does this launch?
We are targeting next week, Tuesday, but if we run into an issue, we're not launching until we're sure it's right and working.
And our email address, I mean, you'll be emailing everybody to let us know when it's launching, correct?
Before, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I know this is scary for the RCSC, but is this being built to integrate with social media platforms? And have we given any consideration to text messaging to members that want text messages?
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
text messaging is going to be part of phase 2, our phase 2 plan. It's on the list of where we want to go. So for sure. The social media integration, it's not.
Can I ask for clarification? When you say social media integration, what do you actually mean?
Okay, so I keep seeing, and I know some people don't like different platforms, and some people like other platforms. And again, I came out of an era a long time ago where keywords triggered hits, right? Now the algorithms, it's all traffic driven, if I understand algorithms, and you guys can explain that better than I can. The more feed or input we get into a site elevates the site in a position where we become more attractive. So if it's a Facebook page that interacts, for instance, Sun City West has a Facebook page that I click on fairly regularly because I want to see what's happening. I don't know if that gets me back to the site, but they are at least appear compatible.
Yeah, I can take that. So yes, it's built in a friendly, search engine friendly manner, which means that the site is going to give out all of the information it has to all of the search engines. And what they use, what you're talking about is search engine optimization. And search engine optimization takes in over 285 different signals from every type of context, whether you're using it on your mobile phone, whether it's coming from a text message that you received, whether it's a link from Facebook, a link from Microsoft, or a link from Joe's blog site. The more links you have pointing back to your website, the higher amount of authority you gain and the higher amount of prominence you typically gain in the search engine. So when you're searching for a community or something to do in an adult community, you could be first, you could be number 27. And the more power or people linking to you and the more mentions that you have in all of those various locations help boost that prominence. So it's not technically something that the site has on it that it does, we will link out to all of the different channels, YouTube, we will link out to Facebook and all of the different areas, and those will also link back to the site, providing that reciprocal link, which will tell the search engines, hey, we're voting for this, this is ours, we want this to be better and be up higher in the search engines.
So we're also looking to use social media in a more powerful way. So we're looking at using Facebook to do like zip code marketing, where people in a certain zip code, our website shows up, or a link to our website or something about us shows up. So we gain prominence. So we're looking to do those things, YouTube as well. How do we optimize our YouTube? Because we don't want to monetize, we want to optimize.
We're getting close to 11:30 where we've got some other conflicts, so we'll need to kind of wrap this up pretty quickly. But thank you for.
Just a quick question. How secure is this system?
Sure, yeah, it's extremely secure. It's held in a cloud environment. So all of the cloud environments have multiple layers of security, including for our users. We call it multi-factor authentication, so you can't just have a username and password to get in. You also have to have a code that is going to be generated the same way accountants do and banks do, so that that code will keep rolling every 1 minute, and you're going to need that code to get into the back end.
I apologize in advance. My background is community promotion and marketing. And when you said that you're collecting all this data, my curiosity is how can we use that data to better target market Sun City? Because I mean, I understand that this is a great website for us. I'm looking at it, how do we bring people to Sun City? When they're looking for a place to live, how do we target where we're promoting Sun City?
Sure, so within all of that analytics information that we are collecting, we're going to be able to see what terms, phrases people are using to find the site, what is commonplace for people to search but maybe not find the site, and the locations they're coming from that we can see, oh, I came from, maybe this search engine, or maybe I came from, a Facebook friends group or something of that nature. So we get to see where every single person has come from in order to get there. Then we will roll that information up and do an assessment of those keyword phrases and terms and locations and everything and say, okay, it looks like we have a good foothold over here. Let's go put up some posts with these keywords, phrases, this type of documentation. Maybe it's showcasing very specific events. Maybe we see huge spikes when, a specific show or event happens. And then we know that people really enjoy that. So maybe we'll start to look for more of those and showcase the same way at the bottom of all the pages. We are showcasing like events and like clubs. We'll use that same type of mentality to inform us of people are very interested in these subjects, and then we'll go after those.
And how is that going to be done used? Maybe Chris, it's a question for you. Is there going to be a marketing committee? Is there going to be a community engagement committee?
So I will say we're very aware that we need to rethink the way we're looking at marketing and how marketing is going. We do not have an answer to that right now. So my answer is a non-answer, but the commitment is we are aware, we're looking at it. We know we need to be relevant for the millennials. The Gen Xers are already arriving. We need to be relevant for the millennials, and we know that. So one last question, and then we do have to go.
We've got some other conflicts, so please go ahead. This is the last question, though.
Just a quick one. Do we have to log in every time, like on our home computer, we log in, save it? Do we have to log in again every time?
No, you can stay logged in. So there's also a log out feature in case you're on a shared computer somewhere. You're going to want to log out of that shared computer so people aren't accidentally, trying to use your credentials to book a tea time or something. But on your home computer, no, you can stay logged in.
Awesome. Thank you for all your interest and terrific questions. This is very helpful, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Let me just say that the next board meeting is September 25th, right here at Sundial at 9 a.m. And the next exchange meeting is October 13th, again, right here at 9 a.m. And also on the 13th of October, we will have a town hall meeting to go through the 2026 budget. And then the next annual meeting is proposed for March 10th of 2026 at 6 p.m. in this room. So thank you so much for attending and all the way through this long meeting, but I appreciate it very much, and we are now adjourned.